there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to Law and Money. Attorney Douglas Oden and financial advisor Michael Allen. We have a great show tonight featuring a very successful business owner, Greg McKay. He is the owner of Newview Windows Film Inc. And I look forward to hearing from him and how he was able to create a successful business. For those who are thinking about going into business for yourself, you should listen very carefully tonight. For our first-time visitors, listeners, and those who tune in regularly, you know a little bit about myself. I'm Douglas Oden. I've been practicing law for over 40 years. This is my 41st year practicing law. I am a partner in the law firm of Oden and Green. We do personal injury, civil litigation, and bankruptcy law. I've been a former president of the California Association of Black Lawyers, a president of the San Diego Young Bar Association, which is the African American Bar Association, representing the interests of African American judges and attorneys in San Diego County. And for 6 years, I was the president of the San Diego branch of the NAACP. Michael, my co-host is Michael Allen, good friend of mine. Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Doug, first of all, it is great to be here in beautiful, sunny Southern California, where all the happy people reside. Myself, I am Michael Allen, yours truly, adjunct professor at National University, entrepreneur, financial advisor, where we offer financial advice with an educational emphasis. So I get the chance to put everything together from the classroom to the boardroom to the bank, and that makes everybody happy. As an advisor, of course, I work with businesses and individuals, helping them set and achieve their financial goals. And we do that through a myriad of products and services, but mostly by listening to find out exactly what the client wants and tailoring a plan to help him or her achieve their financial goals. I'm also the former president of the Central San Diego Black Chamber of Commerce, also president of the Munoz Family Scholarship, where we help young kids go to school. And I'll tell you, that is one of the most rewarding jobs I've had in my entire life. So, again, great to be here. Great to be here with my main man, Greg McKay. I know Tracy's out there listening.
All right, yeah. We're going to hear a little bit more about Greg in a few minutes. But as normal, our first segment is what we call What's Going On, where we talk about some of the issues of today. As you know, we're in the midst of the impeachment inquiry with our president. It's moved on to the next stage of live testimony. They've had some career diplomats come in and talk about the alleged the scandal regarding the withholding of military aid in exchange for them announcing some type of investigation of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. There's been a lot of career diplomats who describe the situation. The whole issue, and it comes down to something that's very simple. You know, did the president basically condition military aid on condition that the Ukraine government announce a investigation into the alleged dealings of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. Now we know, of course, at the time he did this, the former vice president, was the leading contender for the Democratic nomination, and he felt, it appears that if he was able to get the Ukraine president to announce an investigation, of course, he could use that to dismerge and hammer Joe Biden and try to knock him out the race, clearing the way perhaps for his reelection. I've watched this, and, for the first day, they're going to have more testimony, but I've seen enough. I think what the Judiciary Committee should do is write up the articles of impeachment. They need to submit it to the House of Representatives. They can debate and talk about it and take a vote. They are not going to change any Republicans' minds. No Republican even voted to start the investigation. So you know more or less they're not going to vote to impeach the president. And you understand why, because the president is very popular among the base of his Republican Party, and anyone who would vote against to indict and send the president on to trial would be committing some type of political suicide. Michael, what you think?
Well, Doug, first of all, I think it's entertainment television. We get a chance to see it objectively. I'd like to say objectively from both sides, but of course, our nation has become so polarized that it's very difficult to use any type of objectivity. But from an objective perspective, what I see is that they're trying to sway those swing states in the current election. Because if they get those states, whoever the Democratic nominee is, and if the president gets those states again, he or she will win the election. And that's really what it's coming down to. In terms of the actual substance, it's a no-brainer. The facts are there. They're also presented by career civil servants, people that have been in the civil service for 50 and 30 years. And I think that's amazing. And to try to attack their character, being a former veteran, I find that to be very hurtful and harmful to our society, because men and women that give their lives not only to the military but also to civil service, no one really understands what goes on the ground, because there's no saying, when we see wingtips and pumps on the ground, that stops boots from being on the ground, and that can prevent a lot of wars. So I hope people that are listening out there take these guys rather seriously, because what they're telling you is nothing less than the truth.
Right, and these folks are career diplomats. They're apolitical. They serve under Republican and Democratic administrations,
Hmm.
and they said, "Look, we don't have an. We're just here to tell you the facts. Now, y'all, and it's up to you guys to make the political decision. We're going to tell you the facts, how we view it, how we saw it, and how we experienced it." And the thing that's really weird to me is that this isn't ancient history. This like happened 2 or 3 months ago. This is what happened in July. This was happening in
Uh-huh.
June. It's not
It
like
happened on my birthday.
right. Yeah. I mean, this is not something that you have to go out. Well, I kind of forgot. No, man, this has happened. This summer. This
Hmm.
is this is new news, and I think that the president said, "Hey, it was a perfect phone call." I didn't do anything wrong. But what intrigued me is one of the defenses is, well, they got the aid, and so since they got the aid, he didn't do anything wrong, and the president, the guy didn't know he was being threatened. And
Hmm.
back in the old days when they had the mob boss and they come to
Yeah.
the store and say, look, you don't want your store burned down, you're going to give me that $1,000, a week. Now, if the police come and say, hey, is that man threatening you? What you gonna say? No, no, he ain't said nothing to me.
Well,
You know,
I attempted to rob the bank, but I didn't take the money.
right, yeah.
The money's still in the bank.
Still in the bank, so it's no crime.
Yeah, it's no crime.
Right, and no such thing as an attempt, right? I
Hmm.
mean, so they're trying their best to try to weasel out of it. The fact of the matter is, it's a political question. Due to, I think the Senate's going to have the hardest time because those senators who are up for reelection, if they have to make that hard call, you know, I think what they'll do is this, and this is my prediction. Obviously, you're not going to get 67 senators to vote to remove him unless something totally crazy happens between now and then.
Hmm.
A couple of the senators who will probably be up for reelection will get the cover to vote to get rid of him, but he will not get removed from office. There's no way. I think that's going to be the voters' job in November of 2020 to make that call. If you want to keep that man in office, Lord help us. If you want to keep him in office, it's going to be up to them. Now, a couple of new faces jumping in the race.
Hmm.
I call it the 11th hour. I mean,
I know.
Patrick Duvall, Michael Bloomberg,
Right.
and I don't understand it. Michael Duvall, Patrick Duvall, excuse me. I mean, I don't see him being any different than Cory Booker.
Right. They talk about the field being weak. And, there's some talented people in that field.
Thank you.
And also, not just Michael Bloomberg, but when you look at Tom Steyer, if they really want to make an impact on the election, these multi-billionaires can use their money to bring the vote out.
Thank you. Thank you. Very well stated. Because, yeah, I mean, if they are truly interested in changing the administration, they should, and the Democratic Party needs to focus on registering new voters and motivating the voters to come out and vote. Just one day every 4 years, get your butt out and vote.
Hmm.
How hard is that?
I mean, imagine spending that money just buying buses in the South,
Right.
or just renting buses to get people from, as they say, from the pulpit to the polls. They used to
Right.
keep the polls open on Sunday,
Yeah.
and imagine having a Friday night fish fry where
Right.
you get people from the fish fry to the polls to vote.
And bringing food to the polls.
Uh-huh.
Bringing, if there's a long line, feed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have to think outside the box rather than these robocalls and stuff. I
Hmm.
told them they're not getting a dime from me unless they're doing it for voter registration. Not one dime, because it's crazy. I mean, I want everybody to vote. I don't, 100% participate. I don't care if you vote Republican. Fine, vote.
Hmm. Vote
vote.
independent, but vote.
Vote.
I tell people I gave up 6 years, 10 months, and 1 day of my entire life just so you can have that right to vote.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting how this whole thing turns out. There's never a dull moment here.
No, I don't know if you remember the 2016 election in the state of Montana. One of the guys that was running for office, he says, "Look, we don't want that many people to come out because the less people come out, the better our chances."
Right. Well, yeah, that's always been Republican because they know that they're shrinking, their base is shrinking, so they either have to, purge the polls and have or do the gerrymandering. So even if they, if the district is drawn right, all 20 of them can pull it in.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I just hope the public is attuned and stays, vigilant in terms of that right to vote because, democracy is fragile. If you don't use it, you will lose it.
Exactly. I often recall my brothers telling me when I first came to California's going to fall off into the ocean. Yeah, they say, well, I hope so. This way we get our own country.
The People's Republic of California.
We have the fifth largest economy in the world, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, look, let's take a break. We're going to come back with enough of politics. Let's talk a little business with our buddy Greg.
Greg McKay from Newview.
Absolutely. You're listening to Law and Money with attorney Douglas Oden and financial advisor Michael Allen.
When faced with the unexpected loss of a loved one, no one can fully be prepared to know the next steps to take. The emotional toll alone is oftentimes too difficult and hard to bear. At Preferred Cremation and Burial, we're here to help and serve you. Our trusted team of professionals have one goal, and that's to provide you and your family with the very best in quality and service. We'll guide you every step of the way in making informed decisions that truly honor the memory of your loved one. Preferred Cremation and Burial is located at 6406 University Avenue in San Diego. Call our offices today at 619-584-7000 or visit our website at www.preferredcremation.org. Preferred Cremation and Burial offers excellence in service. Call us today at 619-584-7000. We're here to serve you. Mob-Worthy Productions and JDI Records presents Brit live recording on Saturday, November 16th at 4 p.m.
Accompanying Brent Jones in the live recording will be a 100 voice mega mass choir and the amazing music director and co-producer Eddie Brown.
Don't miss this powerful and anointed live recording with award-winning gospel recording artist Brent Jones. Saturday, November 16th at 4 p.m. at Greater Bethel Cathedral, 4831 Gramercy Place,
Los Angeles, California, 90062.
Tickets are $15 at the door with limited seating available. That's live recording of gospel sensation Brent Jones.
And a 100-voice Mega Mass Choir on Saturday, November 16th at 4 p.m.
Don't miss it.
Have you been in a car accident? Bill collectors hounding you? About to lose your house? Your car? If so, you need to contact the law offices of Oden and Green, San Diego's oldest African American law firm. For over 35 years, the law offices of Oden and Green have provided quality legal services for the community. They pride themselves in giving each and every client individual attention. They are located at 701 B Street, Suite 540 in downtown San Diego. Call them now at 619-702-0800. That's 619-702-0800. At Oden and Green, experience matters. Si habla español.
conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way.
Welcome back to Law and Money with attorney Douglas Oden, financial advisor Michael Allen, with our special guest tonight, Greg McKay. Michael, tell us a little bit about our guest tonight.
Wow. Well, we have the honor and privilege of being here with Greg McKay, who's the president of New View Windows right here in San Diego. Greg started tinting windows way back in 1986. In 1991, he decided to start his own business and opened another facility in 1993. Due to the rapid growth and increased demand for commercial home and home window tinting, Greg has started to grow. In 1998, the largest window film manufacturer in the United States recognized Greg for his experience and reputation in the window tinting industry and offered him a sales and trading position. Greg happily accepted. 2 years later, Greg was then promoted to sales and distribution manager for the company and was also given the responsibility to operate as the commercial manager. The commercial manager's responsibilities included specifying window films on large buildings, things that we see around here in San Diego, working with property managers, architects, facility managers, and interior designers. Greg also sat on the board of the IWFA, and I want to know what in the FA is the IWFA. I think I know what it is. It's the International Window Films Association. After 11 and a half years of helping promote window films in San Diego County and the surrounding area, Greg decided to open up New View Window Films. He has since started also with another company up in Temecula called Tent Man, to where he does autos as well as buildings. And Greg, a hearty hello and a welcome to you.
Thank you, Michael.
And so now, before we go any further, all of these businesses starting and popping up, what are you? Are you a window tinter or a businessman?
I think I'm officially a business owner now.
And what's the difference for you in terms of being a business owner versus someone in the window tinting business?
Well, I made a goal that I would stop actually installing window films by the age 50. So I beat that by 2 years, luckily. But what that's allowed me to do is hire new employees, have them install the film for me, and I just call the shots.
So
it
if
makes
a
lot
certain person is listening out there, they should just let go and get out of the installing business, right?
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, highly recommend it. And now you also have a tremendous business partner, and I think her name is Tracy McKay. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Tracy and how she helps your business.
Tracy and we actually just recently got married a year ago.
Congratulations.
We've known each other since we were 8 years old, and good high school friends and family friends. And unfortunately, we both went through a divorce a couple of years back, and we reunited by Facebook, which Facebook's good at doing that. And with her background and my experience in the window film industry, I thought, what a perfect person.
I know, because I've called your office on several occasions, and I know who the backbone of the business is.
Yeah.
So now tell us this: what are some of the upcoming changes in the window film industry?
The upcoming changes in the window film industry is lighter films that reduce more heat.
Mm-hmm.
And because everybody's putting more windows, more glass in their buildings, in their residence, they want that natural light to come in. So if we can provide a light film that reduces half the heat or more, that's what the consumers want out there.
And so now, if it's half the heat, does that mean more savings?
Yes, definitely more savings on your utility bills, not only your utility bills, but your furniture from UV rays. We block 99.9% UV rays, so that helps your furniture from premature fading.
Whoa. So all of that leather furniture I have in my house now, it won't be light brown from dark brown.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, it's too late for my spa cover because I mean this is expensive things because mine faded on me big time. Yeah, so that's a good thing. Now, I know I wear glasses and some of the glasses I have, the the sunlight, if you're out in the sun, it gets darker, and when you're inside, it lightens up. Do they have that technology available now?
We do have that technology, and actually, New View Window Films is the exclusive dealer to the Cool View film, which is a transitional film. So it does go darker when the sun's shining through it, and then it goes back to lighter when the sun is set or on a cloudy day.
Oh, that's going to be great. So people who would want that, they would have to remove the film that they have and put on the new coat of the transitional film.
Yes.
Okay. So in terms, I guess it depends on the number of windows. How do you price them out? Is it per window, or how do you figure out how much?
Well, we come out to anybody's residence or building and we give them a free consultation. At that point, that's where we measure up all the glass. We get a square footage amount, and that's how we sell the film is off of square footage. There's other factors that come into that. Is there ladder work? Do we have to move the grand piano?
Yeah.
Things like that. And we do have exterior films as well. So we not only interior, but sometimes exterior.
Now, when you do put them on, is it primarily interior or is it both?
I would say 90% of them right now are on the interior, but as glass is changing, it's forcing us to put films on the exterior because the different types of low E glass, things like that. But I always say we're improving your view. So by putting films on the exterior, we can enhance the performance of that glass so we can make it perform better as far as UV rays, um, reduce more glare, or just give you more privacy.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I've seen the products on TV. I watch a lot of TV. They have these products, that you can put down the visor and the glare from coming in. Is that similar technology to what you guys have?
Um, yeah, exactly. Because if you look through it, it's like having a nice pair of sunglasses on. So when you're looking out over your view of the city or the beach, you have that reduced glare, so that enhances your view.
That's fantastic. Okay.
So now, one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of the window tinting and window film start to turn purple. What causes that?
That is well, the films are made up of several colors. If we look at the color wheel, what is happening is the yellow fades out the fastest.
Uh-huh.
So when you take yellow out, you have the blue and the red. That makes purple.
Ah, okay. So it's not by design.
No, and that's a dyed film. We're
Uh-huh.
getting away from dyed films now to where there's more metal, there's ceramic coatings, and they don't change color at all.
And so now that we got this film thing, can it really increase the safety, or is that really the individual? Because I notice a lot of schools now are going towards window films and window tinting, or is that just a myth?
No, that is a huge part of our business, growing part of our business, and unfortunately, the day and time we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just attended a conference here in San Diego, and it was school safety. And we had several different school districts attend and learn about our products, other products too. There's no silver bullet that can prevent anything, but a combination of things. And window films will help prevent, um, intruders or anybody from getting into the campus. So we're usually doing the administration office because everything else has fences around it. And we're putting darker films on the classrooms. So if
So
they
you
turn-
can see out, but you can't see in.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can see someone coming at you before they can see you.
Uh-huh. Now, you're also doing vehicles as well.
Yes.
Is
yes.
that a specialty item, or what made you get into that line of work there?
Well, that's how I started doing window tinting back in '86. It was up in Fallbrook where I grew up. I didn't know what I was doing, but I thought it was pretty cool looking and got into it and I didn't know what to charge, so it was usually beer money and gas money because I was a teenager at the time. It would take all day to do a car, but hey, it looked pretty good and it caught on at school, so I became the window tinter in the high school.
And beer and gas seem to go together.
They seem to go together. And, I was actually going to college to be a CHP officer at the time. And I thought, well, this is actually working out pretty good, so I might as well stick with it and see what I can do with it.
Now, you mentioned CHP. Now, I know a lot of people drive around with certain types of window tint. What attracts the CHP to stop someone from having, windows too dark or windows too light?
It could be just, they call it a probable cause. So generally, if it's too dark, they can't see who's behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
That makes them not feel too comfortable. So that's an easy ticket. But as you see, they'll pull you over for that, which might lead into something else. So that's why we call it a probable cause. It could be a tail light that's out. That's another probable cause. So same type of thing. But if you just stick with the lighter to medium shade on there, even though nothing is really legal on the front windows in California.
So wait. Nothing's legal?
Well, there's a very light shade. It's very light. You can't even tell it's on there. It stops about 40% of the heat from coming in and UV rays too. But most people want to go with a little bit of, shade on their front windows.
I hear you.
Now you're talking about the driver's side window, not the front as you look out window, right?
Well, some customers want that front windshield done.
No, okay, yeah, because I know the police, for visibility and for their own safety, they have to be able to see in.
Yes.
Now in the back windows, they can be dark as all get out.
Yeah, state of California, you can have as dark as you want in the back as long as you got the left and right hand mirrors on your doors.
Now, folks, other states have different rules. So now, of course, if you're driving from one state to another and your windows are dark, you probably just have to roll them down once, or maybe probably get a warning.
Yeah, both ways. If it's legal in one state and illegal in another state, it's the same thing as speeding. Just because you can speed in California doesn't mean you can speed in Arizona type of thing. So
I thought there was a thing called full faith and credit.
I thought it was only speeding if you got caught.
yeah, exactly.
No, that's great. Well, look, we're going to take a little break, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more with Greg. I want to talk about a little bit about how you decided to get into the business, because I find it fascinating, and I'm sure some folks want to learn how, if they want to start a business such as yours, what steps they should take. So we'll be back in a minute. You're with Douglas Oden and Michael Allen on Law and Money.
The San Diego Voice and Viewpoint newspaper is San Diego's oldest and largest African American publication. We bring you news for and about our community. Your stories matter to us. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for nearly 6 decades. Your support enables us to continue to forge ahead, informing you with news tailored to your needs. In addition to subscribing to our weekly publication, consider using Voice and Viewpoint to promote your business and events. Call us at 619-266-2233 or send an email to ads@sdvoice.info for details on how to get started. If you have advertising needs, contact us. Our prices are both fair and reasonable. Follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Voice and Viewpoint or visit our website at www.sdvoice.info. Remember, a people without a voice cannot be heard.
When faced with the unexpected loss of a loved one, no one can fully be prepared to know the next steps to take. The emotional toll alone is oftentimes too difficult and hard to bear. At Preferred Cremation and Burial, we're here to help and serve you. Our trusted team of professionals have one goal: and that's to provide you and your family with the very best in quality and service. We'll guide you every step of the way in making informed decisions that truly honor the memory of your loved one. Preferred Cremation and Burial is located at 6406 University Avenue in San Diego. Call our offices today at 619-584-7000 or visit our website at www.preferredcremation.org. Preferred Cremation and Burial offers excellence in service. Call us today at 619-584-7000. We're here to serve you.
GODRadio1.com would love to help you get the word out about your products, your business, your event, your ministry, your services, and more. Our advertisement campaigns are cost effective and specially catered to meet your needs. Radio commercial ads are only $10 with a minimum purchase of $10. Advertisement packages may consist of radio ads, e-blasts, and social media campaigns. Call us up today at 858-251-6111, extension 505, and inquire about the services that are available to you. Our sales team will cater a package that fits your advertising needs. GODRadio1.com is here to serve you. Call today at 858-251-6111, extension 505 for our account executive, or email us at goDradio1@mandaterecords.com.
And picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality.
Welcome back to Law and Money with attorney Douglas Oden and financial advisor Michael Allen, our special guest, Greg McKay. Greg, I wanted to ask you a little bit, what motivated you to go into business for yourself?
I'd probably say I was always told that you're not an employee, you're a manager, just maybe because of the way I did things, and that kind of stuck with me. The reason is that, I just love the business that we're in. Obviously, 35 years of doing this, and I love business. I love numbers, and I'm always just looking to see what next level we can get the company to, and I think that's one of my drives and keeps me, being a business owner.
In terms of your family, did you have a family history, parents or other members of the family? Were they business people?
Yes, my dad is a cattleman, rancher, business developer building developer back in Denver, Colorado. Mm-hmm. And so he's always been self-employed and a business owner and building houses, and so that's kind of my mentor in life, actually, is him.
Well, that's great. So he gave you the foundation so you knew that, hey, if Pops can do it, I can do it too.
Yes, and we talk weekly and talk about different things and business ideas, and he's always asking me, how are you doing, what's going on, and tell me a little bit, and coaching me.
Now, you said you started off like in high school?
Yes.
Now, to take your business to the next level, did you seek any type of financing? How did that work?
I did not, actually. Everything's been organically grown, as far as just saving up the money and just taking chances, taking risks, and making it work, and hard work on top of that.
So when you made $1, you saved 50 cents and plowed it back into the business? And
I don't want to say 50 cents, but, maybe 25 cents. I was young at the time. I needed new cars and everything.
Right. Now, when you first started, when you did the film, did someone show you, said, look, you need to get a razor blade, you got to measure out and lay it, measure twice, cut once?
Yes, definitely. And that's just by working with other guys in the shops that I had worked at.
Okay.
I did it in high school, and then I didn't know all the tricks. I didn't know really what I was doing until I went and applied to a local tint shop up in Vista, California. And they took me in, they taught me everything, and it just naturally happened from there.
Okay.
So what was your aha moment? You're working on tinting windows, and all of a sudden you get one right and you get another one, and then you say, aha, this is how it's done, and this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Just when everything goes right on it, the tint job looks really nice. The customer is probably the driving factor, because they're just excited the way their car looks. It looks completely different, and they're excited. They tell other friends, and so on and so forth, and that just keeps you going. That's the drive.
Uh-huh.
Is that how you grew the business in terms of just word of mouth? Did you do advertising?
Mainly word of mouth. I highly recommend. I mean, no one can sell better than the owner of the company. And so if you're not comfortable getting out there and talking to people, you better spend a lot of money on marketing. But I get out there, I talk, I go to networking events. I'm not afraid to carry a box of business cards and 20 business cards in my pocket, and I'm handing them out, sticking them on cars, sticking them on buildings, talking to people, walking in, whatever it takes to get that business.
So it definitely it takes a type of self motivation. You have to be willing to get out and hustle, basically.
Yes.
You know, in other words, you're not like some folks who the dad wrote them $1 million check and said, start the business. You said, no, I don't need pops. I can do this myself.
Yes.
That's great. That's very inspirational because a lot of people, they want to start a business, but they say, well, I can't get a bank loan, I can't do this, and I can't do that. What's your advice to them?
It's just, again, doing it organically and do it at a slow pace. Don't try to do it overnight. Don't try to double your business overnight. I mean, you have that motivation to do that, but it takes time. And the more money you put into marketing, you just got to watch your bottom line dollar. Where's the money going? And just get out there, get on the streets, start knocking on doors, talking to people, and they will start referring you business. It works every time.
Right. So did you get to the point where you got so busy, you said, well, look, I can't do this all myself. I got to get someone else to help me.
Yes, definitely. Back in 2008, when I started New View Window Films, of course, when the economy was peaking, and I told myself, if I can't start this business and be successful, then I probably shouldn't be doing it. So after a couple years of doing that, it got to the point where I just had too much business coming in, and I did have to hire people. I had my son working for me for a little while in between school and summer breaks. He's involved in my business. He runs the Tint Man up in Marietta, and so he's in the business. But yeah, you can only do so much, and so my thing is make money on top of money. So if you can have the right guys out there doing the job, clean work, representing your company well, that's how you do it.
Okay.
So now, you talked about growing the business organically, and I can only assume that you wrote a business plan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because there's that old saying that people, they don't plan to fail, they fail to plan.
Exactly.
And one of the things that we talk about in business school is a SWOT analysis, where you look at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So why don't you share with our audience some of those things that you consider your strengths and weaknesses, as well as the what's out there that you fear and you feel you can capture?
Um, as far as strengths, I would say that because we're local to San Diego, we have a lot of good connections, a lot of good accounts here. We take care of them. We're able to be on the spot when they need us out there, last minute tint jobs, things like that. That's probably one of our biggest strengths. My experience in the industry. It's hard to pass one by me that I didn't see or haven't seen before as far as what film goes on which window. So we have that going for us. But, that's not it. It's my team. It's everybody in the company. They are my team, and without them, we couldn't be as strong as we would be. Weaknesses, I would say not enough installers out there. My guys are tired. I work them around the clock sometimes. We got jobs from Beverly Hills down to Cabo, Palm Springs to the water, so they're all over the place on that. So having more installers, that's one of our weaknesses there. Um, threats would be new glass coming in, different types of glass. A lot of consumers believe that the glass is performing better than the film, and they don't need film until we get in there and prove them wrong, or they live with the new glass in their house or their building for a year, and then they realize, wow, this is not doing the right job. We need more.
Wow, I never really thought about the glass, but I mean, you just touched on a subject there that hit a nerve.
So, in other words, when you say the glass, I mean some of the manufacturers of the glass build in the tent.
Yes, they put different colors of glass in there. They'll have it from very light to a very dark film. They're starting to come out with that transitional glass. It's very expensive, so it's not something that you can, it budgets very well on new buildings, especially if it's a 14-story building or anything like that.
Now, you guys don't install on the 14-story buildings, do you?
We do. We actually are working on a building up in LA by LAX right now. We just removed all the film, the old film that was on there, and we're putting a new film on there. It's a brand new hotel.
So you use like those, like the window washers, those platforms that they use to wash windows. You use those to install. Oh, you do it indoors. Or you do
We're doing it indoors.
Oh, you
on
know.
that one,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
Price was-
Yeah, I'm saying that. All right.
Price was double if it was on the outside,
Oh.
and that's not me doing it.
That makes your workers' comp rates much lower.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, indoors. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Now, is that like a bidding process where you have to bid against other companies?
Yes, a lot of the contractors out there will bring in 3, 4, 5. I've seen up to 10 dealers or window tinting companies bid on a single project. And yes, it is a bidding process, and it's whoever can outsell the other one at a reasonable price.
Yeah, you don't want to, cut your own throat trying to get the low bid and don't make any money.
No, I don't need the experience. I need the money.
That makes sense.
You don't want the experience of hanging out over a building?
No, thank you.
Now, what's the lifespan of a tent?
Different films, you'll have anywhere from a 5-year warranty up to a lifetime warranty on the different products. Depends on residential, commercial. There's different films for different needs.
Okay. What would be, you don't have to get, I always ask proprietary questions. Now, how much?
You sound like a consumer, Doug.
Right, I'm a consumer. If I had just a regular old car, like a four-door car, what would be the approximate cost to do just the, the driver's side and passenger side windows? What's the range?
They could be anywhere from $50 to $80. I've seen some films we charge up to $120, depending on the quality of the product that we're installing.
Per window or for the whole job?
For the pair, for the front sides. Some cars are up to $500 for a complete vehicle.
Okay, that's fairly reasonable. Yeah. Now, if someone was interested, and a lot of young people out there, everyone doesn't go to college, and some don't have the attribute to read a book all night and write book reports, but are good with their hands. How would they get involved in business?
Well, that's a good question. And I wasn't a stellar student in high school by any means. Of course, I'm up in small town Fallbrook, which had a lot of other things we could be doing rather than sitting in school. But
A lot of avocados up there.
a lot of avocados, yes.
Hey, don't get me started.
But it's a great business. It's a easy business to get into. It doesn't take a whole lot of capital to get involved in window tinting. My suggestion would be is to go work for a company that they, could support you and train you. That's how most people.
Could
get
that
it.
be your company? I mean,
Yeah.
if someone wanted to say, "Look, I don't have a job right now. I'd like to look into window tinting as a career."
Definitely. Like I said before, we're looking for installers and good people that want to work for us. Yeah, we're always looking.
What sort of skill set would you need?
Boy, just a heartbeat. Show up. No, I just, good people skills.
You don't have to be good with, what do they call those, scalpels or?
No, not at all. Just, a little mechanically inclined, attention to detail on it, and just a willingness to learn and work. And the rest goes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you use those squares, those triangles, to cut the glass? How do you actually cut the film these days?
We're just using what they call as an OLFA knife, which is a thin razor blade. Looks kind of like a pen or a pencil, and the blade retracts out of it, and that's how we cut the film.
But do you, for like a measuring, do you use what type of measuring thing that you cut along?
Well, we'll put it on the window, just about it's an inch larger on the window on each side, and then we just trim it to fit.
Oh, you just trim. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. All right. Well, let's take one more break. We'll be back in a final segment, and we'll ask you a little bit, for folks who may want to get just train or want to, get a job doing windows, how they can get in touch with you. So we'll be back with Greg McKay, and you're with Michael Allen, Douglas Oden on Law and Money.
Mob Worthy Productions and JDI Records presents Britt Jones live recording on Saturday, November 16th at 4 p.m.
Accompanying Brent Jones in the live recording will be a 100 voice mega mass choir and the amazing music director and co-producer Eddie Brown.
Don't miss this powerful and anointed live recording with award-winning gospel recording artist Brent Jones. Saturday, November 16th at 4 p.m. at Greater Bethel Cathedral, 4831 Gramercy Place, Los Angeles, California, 90062.
Tickets are $15 at the door with limited seating available. That's live recording of gospel sensation Brent Jones.
And a 100-voice mega mass choir on Saturday, November 16th at 4 p.m. Don't miss it.
Fresh Faith Clothing, a brand that affirms, a brand that encourages one's faith to stay fresh each day, a brand designed to give voice to a message that can't be silenced. We are Fresh Faith Clothing, spreading the love of Jesus Christ. Check out our website, freshfaith.com, without the E, FRSH, faith.com, with positive and creative apparel for men, women, and children that makes a bold statement. Tomorrow's not promised. When we boast in the name of the Lord, we make Jesus famous. Join in the movement with Fresh Faith Clothing. For more information, call 858-650-3190, extension 303, or contact us at info@freshfaith.com.
Have you been in a car accident? Bill collectors hounding you? About to lose your house? Your car? If so, you need to contact the law offices of Oden and Green, San Diego's oldest African-American law firm. For over 35 years, the law offices of Oden and Green have provided quality legal services for the community. They pride themselves in giving each and every client individual attention. They are located at 701 B Street, Suite 540 in downtown San Diego. Call them now at 619-702-0800. That's 619-702-0800. At Oden and Green, experience matters. Si habla español.
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on?
Welcome back to Law and Money with attorney Douglas Oden, financial advisor Michael Allen, our great guest here, Greg McKay. Now, you were telling us that, that this business of window tinting is a good opportunity for young folks or who may not have a particular career and may want to and need a job, basically. How would they get in touch with you?
Well, they could call our office phone number at 619-994-2882.
Okay, we'll give that number out again. And if folks didn't have a pencil, we'll give it to you one more time before we go. And also, you could call the show, and then we keep track of our good people who come on as guests. And if you have any information, get a hold of us, and we'll put you in the right direction. But that's fantastic because a lot of people always it's easy to talk. Hey, I want to start my business. I want to do this, but it's hard to go from the vision to the execution, and I think that separates those who are successful in business and from those who just dream and never actually do the hard work to build a business. Now, how long did it take for you to know, hey, I think I got a successful business and I'm on my way?
I would say within about 3 years, I do that, hey, let's take it to the next level. It's growing. We're doing something right. And let's keep it going. Let's see where we can go with this company. Let's see how far up, how high we can get it and how big we can get it type of thing. And it's baby steps. It's just, doing the basics. is the main thing, and that I would recommend that to anybody. Just doing the basics. Consult with other business owners. Have some mentors in the business because you can't learn it all on yourself. You can't, you don't know if you don't know what you're doing. You got to talk to everybody and see what they're doing and take bits and pieces, and be open-minded and take risks to do it.
Right. Is there an association, a business association of window tinters?
There really isn't. There's the IWFA, which is the International Window Film Association. That's a good start right there. There's also groups on Facebook that you can watch and learn and talk and ask questions and see what's going on from dealers around the country, around the world, actually. I still watch that. I'm still learning. See, I want to know what the guy back in Maryland is doing, how he stays so busy when it's raining all the time.
Right.
Or the gentleman out in Hawaii, which is a good friend of mine, how is he staying busy on an island the size of San Diego and buys 3 times as much film as we do?
And that's a very important point because people don't understand that when you're in business, you're always learning. I've been in law for 41 years and I'm still learning. Every case is different. And you have to keep, going to seminars. You got to keep learning because the industry changes. And if you just, sit back and think you know everything, you'll find out you'll get a rude awakening.
Definitely. And I'm invited each year to go out to the tint off. We actually have a tint off in our industry, but this year it was back in Indiana, and I've asked to go back there and speak about business and help the younger guys coming in or younger girls coming into the business. How do we get started? What do we do? These are the steps. And so I love giving back and helping out. I'm at that point where I love just giving back to the industry and helping new entrepreneurs get started.
So do you think that the industry is still a growing business? So you talked about the threat of, the film or the window manufacturers trying to, create the product that would not require a external or external tint. Is that something that could eventually cut into your business?
It's going to affect our business a little bit, but it's how you sell around it. That's just one facet of our business is the solar control properties. We also have the security films. We also have the surface protection films that we put on the glass, kind of like your screen cover on your phone. It takes the abuse if anybody's tagging, scratching the glass. We do stainless steel for elevators. We also do wall murals. So we're starting to diversify our business in what we're involved in. So it's not only window tinting, but we get asked to do wall murals, like what's behind us.
Oh, that's fantastic.
The outside of buildings, things like that.
So you get to tint the wall mural, or
Yeah, we just we custom print it up, whatever the design is. A lot of these new offices have glass in them, so it's interior glass. So they want frosted films on there for privacy.
How about those buses? You see those buses that have, I'm always amazed by the buses that have a film on it, advertising on it. Do you guys do that stuff too?
We've done that before, not so much the buses, but individual vehicles, work vehicles, things like that, with a perforated so you can see the image on the outside, but you don't see it when you're looking out the window.
Right, because I always amaze me when they have the big conventions on the trolleys. They'll have, the windows will be covered with a Comic-Con or something. And I'm saying, how do they do that?
well, that's a burgeoning business unto itself these days because so many advertisers are paying people to dress their car up. So if we wanted to say the law offices of Oden and Green on that new Mercedes, we could do that, Doug.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'll stick with my business cards.
So now, but Doug did talk about, our youth getting involved in something like this, and I really think that that's a tremendous opportunity simply because of the demand. What's the learning curve for someone and the maturation process for someone coming into the business? Say, you get an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old, and of course, they're no longer millennials. I forget what they're called, but their attention span
Kids.
is kids. It's not as long as, say, a baby boomer.
Yeah, we've trained guys, and within 6 months, they're out on their own. Like what we do is we have different stages. So they know that when they get started, they're going to start out at minimum wage. They get up to the second level, they're making a couple bucks more an hour. And then third stage, fourth stage, fifth stage on up. So that helps them see where they can go. They're not just starting there and just pushing a broom around or anything like that. They know what they've got to do. And so within a year, definitely 2 years, they're a pretty good window tinner. If they just stick to it and just pay attention. And that's where, after 2 years, that's where they can really start making the money.
So now, speaking of making money, what's the range, as my friend Doug would say? What's the range that a reasonable window tinner would make?
We have guys that will pay up to $20 an hour, $25 an hour. There's certain jobs that are prevailing wages, so they really make good money. It's double the money if it's any kind of government job or school. Then we have guys that are on salary as well. And so that's their security. They want to be salary, so we work them as much as we can, but they also have some downtime, and it works out. And then there's benefits on top of that, medical, things like that. So as long as you go with a good company that can support you, and you have to do your research on that. There's several companies out there that, you may be paid every other week, and you're lucky if that check clears type of thing. So you just have to be careful out there where you do
So
land.
if I start with New View window tinting, I could make $20 an hour. I think that's $40,000 a year.
Yes,
And then learn a skill that I can keep for the rest of my life.
definitely.
Wow, what a concept.
Great. I mean, a lot of, and I hope our listeners out there are listening because you may have some nephews, it might be yourself, who might be looking for a new career because, everyone, there's more things out there. If you don't get exposed to it, you never know.
Yeah, and that's how I got my start, is working for another shop, and I learned all my experience and went out and opened up my own company in '91, my first company.
Well, speaking of companies, let's talk a little bit about New View before you get out of here. What's your competitive advantage? What makes you better than the rest of the window tinting people out there?
I keep going back to the experience and the culture that we have at New View. Our employees are happy. They show up to the jobs happy. The experience, again, there's nothing that we can't do. If there is, I'll tell you, I'll be quite honest and tell you, but we take care of the customer. We make that manager, that building owner look good in front of their bosses. And that's what we do. We don't say no. We provide the best products out on the market from the largest companies on the market. And we just do everything right. I always say I do everything opposite of a regular contractor. I show up on time, fair pricing. I do what I say I'm going to do, and the rest goes from there. Customers will refer you, and that's how we grow our business.
That is truly outstanding.
Well, look, with our last couple moments, tell folks how to get in touch with you again.
Do you have a website?
We do have a website. First, the phone number would be 619-994-2882.
Can you say it again like you did it then?
619-994-2882. And the website, I'll spell it out for you. It's www.newview, that's N-U-V as in Victor, U-E, window films with an S.com.
One more time. Some people, they love being that repetitive part.
Sure. www.
You don't even need the www.
No, we don't need that anymore, do we? So New View Window Films, that's N-U-V, or N-U-V-U-E, window films with an S.com.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Greg, for being our guest tonight. And we appreciate you. We appreciate all the knowledge that you gave us.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, and I brought some T-shirts for you.
All right. All
There
right.
you go.
Thank you.
This definitely goes with my Sunday best. I'm
There
telling
you
you.
go.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you for showing up on our show. And that's going to be it for today. We will be off because the holidays are coming up. Our next show will be on December 5th.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to take off a little time.
We get a little turkey time, huh?
Right, so you guys enjoy your turkey weekend and Thanksgiving with families and friends. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you again on December 5th. Have a real special guest on that show.
Definitely.
All right, for Law and Money, Attorney Douglas Oden and Michael Allen.
Have a good one, folks.
Have a good evening.
Everybody thinks we're at home. Oh, but who are they to judge us?